Hello, welcome back to another one of these lessons. Today we'll be doing Day Tripper, drummed by the Ringo Starr. Not a particular technical player, but he surely know how to play to the song. There was no overplaying at all, which made the song very simple to play. So there's only a few parts to this song. So we have a small drum fill, regular drum groove, and we have Motown beats. And then towards the end, we have the regular fill with the regular drum groove with a quarter note triplets pattern towards the end of that, which make it a little bit interesting. Okay, I'll just quickly demo each part of the song, and then I'll break it down a little bit. All right, here we go. And that's all the parts are it. It is quite simple. So let's start at the beginning. So we have a drum fill, just is coming in on the beat 3 and 4 of the from the breaks. And all the breaks have the same drum fill, just different lengths of breaks for the drums. So it is 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and 1, 2. So that is there's a few variations in sticking, up to you. The one I prefer is right, left, right, left, right, left. That's because I can then come out and crash on the right hand without much of disruption to my flow per se, but you can do right, left, right, left, right, right. That also makes sense because if you were to play a regular single short roll, you got right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and your hand is already playing the right hand. If you're right-handed, that is, are already playing all those eighth notes that needed for the fill. So it's better that way, but then you have to play, unless you're crashing with the left hand, then you have to play a third note in afterwards with your right hand. For some people, that could be challenging. I'll demonstrate both ways, and then, yeah. That was the first way that I prefer doing. Now I'm going to do a second way. That is the second way of doing it, and with the hand coming out crashing on the right hand. I'll do the one coming out of the left hand as well. Either way is fine. So what the only thing that's difficult that I have seen is that some people don't get the eighth note part of it quite correctly, and they end up sounding something like this. And that is just all 16 notes at the same pace. So make sure you have those eighth notes down. Okay, make sure it's 3 and a 4 and. So make sure that is correct. So I'll play the correct way one more time, and then I will play you one time that could be incorrect. So there are a sound slight difference between those. If you are a little bit more beginner and your single shot roll is not quite steady just yet, then you can just play the eighth notes. So I'll show you how that sounds. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is also fine. If you just want to get it playing to the song, okay. And then the next bit, which is the bulk of the song, really, we have the main groove. I'll show you how that sounds. Okay, that is quite a regular groove you will see in many songs. Regular straight eighth note groove, kind of rock kind of pattern. Okay, so we have bass drum on the 1, on beat 1, and then we have 2 bass drum on the 3 and. So without the hi-hats, it should sound something like this. Okay, so this is quite straightforward because you are not playing much in the way of syncopated patterns. All the snare drum note and the bass drum note are together with your hi-hat if you're playing eighth notes. So I'll highly recommend that you play eighth notes. I'll show you how to play with quarter note as well if your right hand or left hand is not fast enough for the speed of the song. And you can play quarter note as well, but make sure underneath whatever you play on the hi-hats, you can hear that groove strong. So the groove once again is, make sure you can hear that 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure that is always going to be present, whatever else you play on top. Okay, I'll show you the whole pattern, and then I'll show you the quarter note way of playing as well, if you get tired playing the song. Okay, so we have 1, 2. And now to play with quarter notes. Okay, that will be one with quarter notes. Apart from my leg towards the end, ignore that. And so now we take it to the kind of the second bit of the song, which is with the Motown groove, the Motown drum pattern. So this groove is having the snare drum on all 4 quarter notes. So in like you'll hear like 1, 2, 3. You hear that strong pulse all the way through this song. You hear it on many other songs, such as, I can't think of any right now, which is quite annoying. Should I prepare more? But anyway, so that's a bit of it, and then you have the bass drum pattern coming in on the an of 3 and an of 4. That could be tricky if you're not used to this pattern. So without the hi-hat, this should sound something like this. Okay, that's the main idea. Now the hi-hats, you have some options. You can play the just quarter notes, just on the together with your snare drum, or you can play the eighth notes. I find playing the eighth note actually easier because you're already playing the eighth note groove from the previous section, So you will carry on the same on one of your hand. And I find that changing into different speed of playing on that one hand would kind of disrupt my flow in the song. So that's something to watch out for. If you can play the eighth notes, play the eighth notes. If you really can't do it, then focus on the kick and snare pattern. It is most important in a lot of Western music. Okay, I'll play you both ways. First, I'll do it with eighth notes, and then secondly, I'll do it with quarter notes. That was eighth notes with that on the hi-hats, and now I'll go and play the quarter notes. Okay. If you are now playing just quarter notes, I would highly recommend you trying out with one of the eighth notes, because it sounds so cool. I love it. I love this groove. So to get practicing this pattern to hand first, I'll highly recommend you starting with the hand, as I see that's most difficult for most people that I teach. Okay, so I'll break it down a little bit. We have firstly, this just repeating pattern is a two note repeating pattern, so if you want to put it that way. I do. Right, so we have both hands together with a closed hi-hat, and then the second note is just the hi-hat hand by itself. So just those two notes sounds like this. And now you're just repeating it for every beat of the song. And then we have the bass drum going in between the pulses on the 3 and 4 and. Okay, so to do that, I will actually isolate just that bit by itself, so practice just that bit. The bass drum will come together with the hi-hat on its own. I'll run just that one half of the bar for you so you can see how it sounds. So we have right, so that is that part of it. I will practice just that one bit and then later on combine both half of the bar together. So I'll practice this bit. And just get it really comfortable, and don't speed up like I did, because that is a terrible idea. But just to get really comfortable with a metronome, that's really important. And then later on combine the first half of the bar and the second half of the bar. So first half, the 1, 2 with no bass drum, and then 3 and 4 and with the bass drum. Okay, so together we have. So we'll get that in the end. Now, that's that bit. Also, I like to add sometimes a bass drum on the 1. That's not on the record, but I like that. So I like to put my own touch on things. Just something simple. So it would sound like this. That to me, that sounds a little bit more interesting, and a little bit more driving, I suppose. Okay, and then we have another bit where it's in the bridge, and that lasts the whole bridge is 16 bar. But the drums is not playing for the last 2 bar. So I'd like to take some vocal cues. When the singers are doing the they will do it for 6 bars. So if you don't like counting 14 bars for you to stop, then count 6 bars, because they'll be doing for 6 bars. From the time to start doing the R's, that means you start counting your 6 bars, and then you stop for 2 bars. You come back in with the drum fill, the one and only drum fill, and you're back into the next section. Okay, and then we have also the ending of the song. The ending of the song, we have a regular groove for 1 bar, and then you play half a bar of a normal groove, and then you'll play a quarter note triplet. Triplets, for those who don't know what it is, you will learn triplets. Most regular triplets are basically 8th note triplets, 3 note in each beat. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So 3 note in each beat, as I was just counting. So I'm going to demonstrate to you some quarter note triplets. You are fitting 3 notes in the space for 2 quarter notes. So that make an interesting sound. If you like to take a reference of how that sounds, it's basically, if you do 7 Nation Army, have that in it, quarter note triplets. The bass line, you'll hear a bit in the middle, that is in the middle of the riff, that is in quarter note triplets. You feel the hesitation, and it's contrasting against the bass drum pattern you normally play for that song. That's 7 Nation Army. And it's kind of similar idea here, except the drums we're playing that rhythm instead of the bass. Okay, so I'll play that section by itself, and then we'll get into the part of it. Okay, so we have. So that's that part of it. There are ways that you can actually count it quite easily. It's by doing it in half time, counting it in half time. But I find that I personally, if I would count it, I don't get it necessarily. That's a lot of thinking. I don't think thinking was involved in making that bit, or it's more like an instinct for the band to play it like that way originally when they composed the song. So I'm just gonna play you just the rhythm between 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, cup of tea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, cup of tea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, cup of tea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, cup of tea, 1. Okay. Cup of tea. So that's that. I'll show you how it goes. No, I won't show you how it goes. Yes, I will show you how it goes. No, I won't. I won't show you how it goes. To play that triplets bit of it, you can either just do alternating strokes, or you can play what I personally like to play, adding a flam on the first notes. Or you can do flam or 3 notes. Doesn't hugely matter. But I'll show you both ways. So we have, well, I'll start with the groove, obviously. So that pretty much it, really. Pretty much it. The rest is all listen to the song and apply all those sections into the song while you're listening to it and play and practice it, really. Okay, that should be all.